Oh my gosh. He bro-fisted me.
In this world, cesspool of kindness and ethical blindness. So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Piss-Drunk fraternity guy, you got my ass full of bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, we're so impressed. Lots of chicks in a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. I just can't understand it. But put a mind by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. Screws in a pool, letting cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cats ready to gag. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bo's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The polygenetic put a body by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics. So let the flunkies will quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/EchoPlex Media. Podcast listeners out there, make sure you're following our Twitch channel. It's also simulcasting to YouTube. However, if we're not covering the anti-Scientology perverts, nobody watches us on YouTube. Support this project, just go to echoplexmedia.com, click the support us link at the top of the page, and you can figure out your favorite way to support this project. Or, I don't know, don't give me any money. I don't care. Anyway, I'm Producer Dave. You can find me on Grindr, and this is what the people want.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. Thank your local police. Cause they don't do nothing wrong. Thank your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fairest judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong, don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job, don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops.
All right. Well, first up, out of Tennessee, Phil Williams is chasing down another story. This guy, I'm surprised, did not win a Pulitzer last year for his work covering that fucking QAnon sheriff. But you know, maybe we'll keep an eye on this. Maybe tomorrow night, everybody should try to remember to check this out because it's he's got the full story will be available tomorrow. You can just check Phil Williams' Twitter and find it.
From high above, it's a breathtaking part of Tennessee. But how is this 122-acre plot of land really being used? News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams.
Fuck yeah, Phil Williams.
Find out.
They're inviting, white supremacists from across the country into this compound to network and strategize.
The stunning revelations surrounding a hate group looking to expand their presence and why they've chosen Tennessee. News Channel 5 investigates. Monday at 6.
Fuck yeah, make sure you watch that. It's probably getting just a banger of a fucking report because that guy is just so fucking good. Like we were following all last year, all 2024, we were following his reporting on that Q sheriff, also out of Tennessee, and it was just fucking phenomenal reporting. Up next, we only got one clip of the Zelenskyy debacle, I suppose, at the White House. But we do have a lot of clips of the media's coverage of it after that, because that's sort of where we're at here. So let's check this out. This is this is him fucking talking shit to JD Vance.
Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going
Well, why the fuck do you have the media there?
and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America?
Dude, fucking body slam him. Oh my God, it's fucking so much self-control here. Just absolutely so much self-control having like two of the dumbest people in the world attempt to dress you down in front of the press.
The administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what.
He's like, you got nice oceans on either side of you. He's like, but whatever this is probably coming for you too. I don't know if that's true or not, but fucking man, just the self-control not to just fucking cold cock fucking JD Vance right in his guy liner ass face. Like, yo, I watched a lot of clips of that and I decided not to put a lot of them on the docket because everybody saw them. You all saw the clips. Some of you probably even watched the whole thing. But what's interesting sort of was the media's reaction and how it was sort of like after, essentially. So we have two clips now of Zelensky's appearance on Fox News where I thought he did a pretty good job, actually. Like talking directly to like Trump voters.
I want to be very honest. I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they are not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses. And they're not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side. From one side, it's understandable. From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together in this question, two parties always together against Russia.
Ooh, it's not as true as you would like to think there, friendo. Not two parties against Russia. One party was fucking sort of towing the fucking Russian state like propaganda party line. Here's more of that interview.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Yeah. Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes, but we have. In fact, because 67 came like a weapon, it came through the border, it's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side, and 31.5 it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open, it's digitalized, it's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
It can be.
Чи можуть ваші відносини з Трампом бути врятовані після сьогоднішнього дня?
Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people helped to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful. And sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I very count that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored that you kept this interview. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Yo, yeah, he did a really good job on Fox. He like just sort of sidestepped the idea that he was really there to get to like plead for the administration or whatever. He like is he was there trying to talk like directly to people in America. And he said, he's like, sure, I can personally thank your president or your Congress, but he's like, I'm here representing my people. And I'd like to thank the American people for their support of the people whose safety I'm in charge of. Fucking pretty good politician, but also just like the kind of the right way to frame it more broadly. Now here's Lindsey Graham afterward. Lindsey, before the meeting, took photos, had a photo op with Zelenskyy and I think a Democratic lawmaker. I forget which one. And they were all like palling around, and it looked like, he was like, oh, this is like they were homies and shit. And then he saw this interview and he was like, uh-oh, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to do this.
All right. For you and for us. So, what I think? Complete, utter disaster. I've been to Ukraine 8 or 9 times since the war started. I understand the consequences of Putin's actions against Ukraine. I appreciate what the Ukrainian people have done. They fought like tigers. At the end of the day, I was hoping that this minerals deal, which would be transformative in the relationship, would go over well.
This minerals deal, they want to take half of the fucking country's mineral rights. And he was like, no.
Zelenskyy,
because no is the right answer.
Don't take the bait. President Trump was in a very good mood last night. Somebody asked me, am I embarrassed about Trump? I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. I think most Americans saw a guy that they would not want to go in business with. The way he handled the meeting.
We're not opening a fucking hot dog stand with him.
The way he confronted the president was just over the top. So I think the relationship between Ukraine and America is important, vitally important. But can Zelenskyy do a deal with the United States? After what I saw, I don't know.
This is like straight up the Russian party line. The Russian media and stuff is all saying that Zelenskyy needs to step down and, I don't know, hold an election while the country's being bombed. This is like straight out of the Kremlin.
Senator Graham. You spent lunch with President Trump. What did he say to you about his interactions and whether he thinks
he was shocked? He was very upbeat. I told Zelenskyy, we'll talk about security guarantees. We'll talk about ceasefires and how the war ends. This is a process. You have a new relationship with America, a $500 billion, $500 billion deal that President Trump is proud of, that gives us an interest worth defending. Let's talk about the positive. But he was terrible at Munich, Zelenskyy, and I think he has made it almost impossible to sell to the American people that he's a good investment, that he is a good business partner.
Last question. Senator Graham. Senator, number of European. Hey, one at a time. One at a time. Christian Daytop. Senator Graham, thank you. Do you think President Zelenskyy needs to resign to resume these peace talks?
He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
What the fuck? Like he's going to resign and then what? Then the problem there becomes like if he resigns, like did they just appoint somebody? Like does Donald Trump appoint somebody? Like what do you mean he needs to resign? What? I don't understand. I mean I understand this again. This is like the Kremlin's line is that they want to get rid of Zelenskyy. And the reason they want to get rid of him is because he's fucking not only popular in Ukraine, he's like popular around the world for like pretty obvious reasons. Like not for nothing. He's a pretty good looking guy. Seems like it's very clear that he cares about the fucking people of Ukraine. It's very clear that he is defiant to Vladimir Putin. And so those are all things that fucking the Kremlin don't like. And as an extension of that, unfortunately, the Republican Party in the U.S. doesn't like that either. What they wanted him to do, which there was no fucking way this guy was going to do they wanted him to go in there and fucking kiss the ring, right? They wanted him to go in there and fucking bend the knee. Tell Donald Trump that Ivanka's an 11. Tell fucking J.D. Vance that the guy liner that he had tattooed on his eyes looks great. They wanted him to go, oh, you have such a beautiful White House and They wanted him to go and do that, and he wasn't going to do that. Fuck that. There was no way he was going to go in and do that. Now here's Lindsey Graham on Fox News to continue this bullshit.
Takeaway. I told President Trump, I said, there's two ways to look at this. Your interaction with Zelenskyy was maybe the best television I've ever seen, but it's deeper than that. The world is now watching how Trump behaves and acts when he's pressed. I thought he stood up for America, that we're a good people, we want to help you, but we're going to be respected. So I think Moscow is probably more afraid of Trump than ever. Hope the Chinese are, and I hope the Iranians are. As to Zelenskyy,
what do the fucking Iranians have to do with this?
Ukraine, to the Ukrainian people, America wants to help you. The way the meeting went today, you made it almost impossible to help you.
Again, I'll ask you.
What the absolute? I didn't see that. I watched a meeting where, like, they basically Trump and JD Vance kept asking the guy for fucking credulity and to kiss their ass, and he didn't do it. And that was smart. You do not want to go into a meeting with those fucking people and kiss their ass. It is not a good idea. And I think Zelenskyy knows that. I don't think the guy's no fool. His country may end up getting destroyed and fucking taken over by a hostile power. I don't know if Europe has the means to prevent it, though they may. And it may just be a matter of a few European countries fucking getting into a staring contest, essentially, with Russia. I hope it doesn't come to that, because these are like nuclear powers. You never want nuclear powers in a fucking staring contest. Up next, here's the White House press secretary talking about this meeting.
Well, it would have been nice for President Zelenskyy to bring that energy here to the White House today, but instead he was looking for an arm wrestle when President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance had their hands open, looking to bring peace to his country and to Eastern Europe. He did not read the room very well. President Trump was prepared to sign a historic agreement today that would have brought billions, if not trillions of dollars of money to the American people, but also to his country of Ukraine, and he decided to act a fool in front of the whole world. It was extremely disappointing to see. The world wants peace.
No, that's bullshit. He fucking brought an agreement that fucking basically half of everything that you mine in your country is now ours. That's like it's like getting invaded again. But now you're being, it's almost like the being invaded economically. You were first invaded militarily, and now you got Donald Trump's ass coming in trying to invade you economically by telling you that you got to give up all your half of your fucking minerals, anything you fucking mine out of the ground. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't want to see all hell of people die and shit. It's fucked up. I hope somehow this comes to an end. But short of that, man, fucking Ukraine, fucking go down swinging. I don't know what else to say. Like, I know it sucks, but fucking go down swinging. But I think that's fucking Zelensky's fucking plan anyway. It hasn't ever seemed like it's not the plan. This is fucked up, man. I wish this fucking country had a fucking somebody, like a regular fucking president who wasn't just like, oh, I got to go in there and figure out how to fucking make a deal that makes me look like I'm the fucking deal maker. Because that's what he wants. He just wants to be able to like run around and brag about fucking how he made this great deal that fucking gave us all, like, I don't know, is there fucking lithium there? I don't know exactly what's there, right? But that's what he seems to want. And it's like, well, but we're like a third party. The United States here is like a third party, right? We haven't been invaded. We're not the invading force. I don't know. I feel like it might have been, maybe as soon as this happened, maybe the response from the United States and Europe should have been much more aggressive. It might have started World War III. I'm no fucking foreign policy expert, but it ain't looking good now, because now you're stuck in a position like we're now in a position where the UK, who is sort of at odds with the rest of Europe in a lot of ways right now, and basically Germany and France, the large military powers, in Europe are going to have to like decide what to do, and it's not great, not great. Also, like, and it'll be interesting to see, like, because Turkey's a member of NATO. What is Turkey going to do? NATO may end up dissolving as a result of all of this, which is, I think, Trump, when he ran in 2016, I think he made motions and said things alluding to the idea that he thought maybe NATO should be disbanded. So I think there's a bit of a long con going on here. Okay, we're going to move on from the Ukraine stuff. Now we're going to move on to DOGE, which fucking awful shit too. Here's from the 5. Jessica Tarlov is going to talk about Medicaid cuts to these idiots on the 5.
Do you think that's a good strategy, Jessica, just to sit back and wait for Trump to implode?
I think it's better than standing outside of the Department of Education singing. I think that is a better approach. But they're not just sitting back and waiting. They're talking about what's actually going on. They're talking about the DOGE cuts. They're steering people towards the Wall Street Journal analysis, which said, you know, you've heard these huge numbers, like 55 billion in cuts. It's actually 2.6 billion. And guess what? We looked under the hood of those as well. And they're doing things like cutting clinical trials for Alzheimer's or the 9/11 Health Fund.
Restored.
After it was a mistake and then restored? Yep. Great. Okay, so add that to the list of things that Elon Musk could have waited 5 seconds to do, and then we could be in a better place.
Same point. Yeah, they make mistakes.
I hate the 5, but I love that lady. And also this guy having a poop cup in front of him. He thinks it's funny, and it is, but it's not funny for the reason he thinks it's funny. I think it's funny because this guy can eat shit.
No,
Listen
it's
to the
not
little
just,
lady, Jessica.
No, well, then explain how people are parading around these massive numbers, and the numbers are actually a lot smaller. And when what really matters in all of this, and the Democrats are hammering it, is that in the bill that the Republicans are putting forward, there will be $880 billion cut to Medicaid. And you see Republicans all over the country. And no, Jesse, these are not plants that are showing up at their town halls.
I never said that.
But you were thinking.
Watch this.
But you were thinking that.
Ooh, get a co-host that looks at you like that.
Okay, so I headed you off. They were actually people who worked at the CDC in Rich McCormick's district. But people are showing up in Oklahoma, in Arkansas, Pennsylvania, Missouri, Wisconsin, and they're saying what's going on at DOGE is unacceptable. And are you kidding me with these Medicaid cuts?
Now you guys listen to the voters.
Trillions of dollars.
It's like the first time you listen to the voters, Jessica.
We are trying.
So it's just
What the fuck? This is the first time you listen to the voters. Jesus Christ. Fucking Jesse. God damn. They should put me on the... I mean, Jessica Tarlov does a good job defending like I guess a slightly more moderate liberal position maybe than I take, but they should put me on the 5, dude. I would... are you allowed to... You're still allowed to swear on cable news, right? I mean, I'd get kicked off, but they should put me on the 5. It would be fun. Up next, we have there's a GOP lawmaker... I don't know who Alfred is, where he's from, but you've been in Congress for a while. You've been in Congress for a couple of years. If there was fraud in Medicaid, why didn't the House Republicans say anything about it until now? Which is a fucking pretty good question. There's fraud in any fucking large system, but Medicaid is a well-run system. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, those are all well-run systems.
That for their health
but
and survivability.
You've been in Congress for 2 years. If there is fraud in Medicaid, why have we not heard anything from House Republicans about that for the last 2 years?
Look, I'm not on Energy and Commerce, which Ways
which is
and
tasked
Means.
with coming up with $880 billion in cuts, as you know, which a lot of people are worried that's more than just the reforms that you're talking about.
Caitlin, I'm not making excuses. We need to do a better job, and I think every chair is charged now. This is serious business we're talking about.
This is serious business. Like, I hate these people. Like, they're like terrified of, they're not sure if they should be more afraid of their constituents or of fucking apartheid Clyde. I mean, I'd say they should probably be more afraid of their constituents, but that sort of operates under the assumption that there's gonna be more elections, which I'm not 100% sure of here. Here's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, talking about how apartheid Clyde has he's actually cracked the fucking code. Everybody, check this out.
and the Congress who could have oversight. The problem is, for decades, as we know, we haven't been able to do that job well, because even though we requested the data and requested the insight, it was hidden. How many of you know that bureaucracy was not forthcoming, right? They're not transparent. That's the whole point. That's the problem. That's the deep state that we talk about. So they were hiding from Congress. We didn't know that.
I love it when these people that are like entrenched in the government are like talking about the fucking deep state. It's like, motherfucker, you're the Speaker of the House. Shut your mouth.
USAID was funding drag shows in Peru or whatever, transgender operas. And
does this guy not know that maybe that wasn't what it was for? Does this guy not know that like organizations like USAID are like sometimes sending money places for things that the money isn't really going for that? Does this guy not understand any of that? I've seen Burn Notice. I know how this works.
Colombia or whatever, it's madness. But Elon has cracked the code. He is now inside the agencies. He's created these algorithms that are constantly crawling through the data, and as he told me in his office, the data doesn't lie.
He's created He is not creating algorithms that are crawling through the data. They're printing shit off and like finding things that have words that they don't like. And they're like, well, this is bad because it talks about inclusion.
We're going to be able to get the information. We're going to be able to transform the way the federal government works at the end of this. And that is a very exciting prospect. It is truly a revolutionary moment for the nation.
Yeah, by algorithms, he means Control F. Open a document, hit Control F. Oh, shit. Fucking elite hacker shit there, friends. Elite hacker shit. If you don't believe that apartheid Clyde's going to fix everything, just look at what he did to Twitter. Doesn't everybody here fucking love Twitter right now? Isn't Twitter great? Just look at what the guy did for Twitter.
If I was Elon, I'm asking him to double down, not go slower, double down, and we're going to correct the pieces as we go along as well. Think about what Elon did with Twitter. He fired 80% of the people when he took over Twitter. He changed the name of it, and now today it's worth twice as much as it was before.
Excuse you? All right, sure.
So Elon has proved he can do this with large organizations. He has the president's trust. He's working day in and day out with the president. We're going to sit down with him tomorrow and go. And so far, he's implemented a lot of the things I've suggested. Just yesterday, the president instituting transparency for hospitals and their procedures was something that we've been working on with DOGE and the president. So full speed ahead. Let's make America great again.
Yeah.
Word on the street is that it's worth so little at this point, like if it were to be liquidated, that his fucking investors, if they wanted like to default, like if they wanted to try to get out or to try to fucking like collect, that they couldn't. At least not based on like the value of Twitter. Like that's my understanding of the situation. And this guy's chickens are going to come home to roost at some point, because there are a lot of fucking Saudi money floating around in there, and that fucking pool of money he used to buy Twitter. And those people have a habit of unaliving folks. They're not fucking around. I'm not like, oh hooray, the Saudis are going around unaliving folks. Of course that's not good. But my God, in what world is Twitter worth fucking twice as much as when it was purchased? I saw estimates that it's worth like 10% of what it was purchased for. Now, it was purchased for more than it was worth because this dumb fuck was like, oh, what did he fucking 54.20 a share? Ha ha ha, 420. Dumbass. Fucking trying to meme price something, ends up paying more for it just so he can meme price it so that a bunch of fucking incels think he's funny. Like incels who probably don't even smoke weed. Here's him addressing, I guess, the fucking Trump's cabinet.
And I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately, and there was no interruption. But we do need to move quickly if we're to achieve a $1 trillion deficit reduction in financial year 2026. It requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it.
No, you won't. Well, this is all gonna blow up in y'all's faces, dude. This is all gonna blow up in y'all's faces. Like, you're not gonna reduce. You're not gonna fucking save $1 trillion in a year. It almost isn't possible. Like, but don't worry. The fucking federal employees, friends, the federal employees are now, they're going to, after they like purge anybody who doesn't fucking kiss the ring, federal employees they're going to work harder now because we're like, well, we're working for the president now because I guess we didn't get fired or something.
I have no problem with the employees here saying, what did you do last week? And if you can't come up with 5 things that you did, maybe you shouldn't be employed here. So again, this is an easy task. It happens in the private sector all the time. And so I wanted our employees to actually engage and talk about what they did. And I think this whole movement, Bill, is potentially going to make people go, I'm going to come to work earlier. I'm going to stay later. I'm going to work for free so that I don't get fired. Donald Trump wants me to accomplish because he won the election. And I'm going to fight and work to make sure I help him accomplish that because I'm a public servant. I don't work for a party or a union or a think tank. I actually work for the president. And again, I think this goes to that point. Just tell us what you did last week.
Okay, so we looked up today's 20.
Weird how these get cut in that place, but I think like this. I think that's it's just a function of a lot of these people that pull clips that we end up using are just trying to work so fast as the news breaks that they don't have time to like very carefully cut the clips or whatever. And I guess that's fine. That's fine. But what he's basically saying that these people that are they have like a contract essentially where they're supposed to work at 9 to 5, 40 hours a week. What he's saying is they should work for free now because they work for the president or something. I don't know. That's kind of stupid. Don't ever work for free. Ooh, up next, we got people be fucking mad at their fucking Republican representatives because of what's going on here. People be fucking mad. Like Jessica Tarlov was alluding to in a clip earlier.
Elected person allowed to hire, fire government employees. I'll take one of these. Where's Karen that asked this question? Karen? We don't have the staff. Thank you, Karen. Karen says, why is an unelected person allowed to hire, fire government employees? I'm going to take these one at a time.
That's a good question. Why is this unelected person just hiring and firing people?
The reason is that he was hired. Let me go over and have I got a contact with Elon Musk was hired by the executive Donald Trump, and he has given him that authority, just as in past administration.
Boo.
How will you guarantee?
Well, shout out to Jonathan Shorman of the Kansas City Star. I don't know what that lady in the background was yelling. You couldn't hear her, but shout out to her for just fucking yelling the whole time. Good for them. Good for them. And I hope that and this is like a hope beyond all hope, right? I hope like some of these people, not like the true believer types, but like some of these people who were like, well, I just fucking, I hate the Democrats or whatever, and that's why they voted for these people. I hope some of those people fucking figure out that just because you don't like liberals or whatever, like voting for an incompetent person who told you that he was going to destroy the administrative state is not a good idea. Like at the very least, just leave the president line blank if you don't like the Democrats and the Republicans are running a fascist. I mean, you can vote for the rest of the way down ballot. We were always talking about that on down ballot. Up next, this is in, I believe, Washington County, Tennessee. There's a woman who was forcibly removed for speaking out against these actions here. This is what democracy looks like, folks.
Appointment. Now look and listen. I appreciate you all showing up, whether you like my answer or whether you did.
Congresswoman, we have one more question.
Okay, we got one more question.
I don't even know why she was removed. there's not enough context there, but it didn't even look like, she just looked like she was fucking sitting there. We don't know, but like, even if she was like slightly disruptive or something, by the time, I don't know, she was just fucking sitting there. Here's this one's quick, but this is from Ron Whitman, I believe, out in Alabama, congressperson, and people be. I think he left his own fucking. No, he didn't leave his own thing. People be mad though, and it's like, look at the people in this. Fucking, these are like, look at all these fucking old white people that are hella fucking mad, dude. Look at this. Fucking, it's like the fucking the villages are about to rise up.
Whitman, where's Ron Whitman? Where's Ron Whitman? Where's Ron Whitman? Where's Ron Whitman?
Oh no, where's So I guess whoever that was either left or had scheduled an event and didn't show up. But that's fantastic. Or maybe they were just at his office. I don't know. There wasn't enough context there. Sometimes going through this stuff is hard because we only do like one news show a week. Whitman is is it Bob Whitman, Ron Whitman, Alabama, and I believe from the House of Representatives. Up next we have this is somebody in Maryland. This is Roger Marshall, I believe, the House of Representatives out of Maryland. Just kind of gets up and leaves because people are just asking questions, I guess, that he doesn't like, or we'll see what leads to this person leaving their own event.
Is doing right now as far as cutting out those jobs, a huge percentage of those people, and I know you care about the veterans, are veterans.
Yes.
And that is a damn shame.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a damn shame.
I'm not a Democrat, but I'm worried about the veterans, man.
All right, friends, you should just join the Democratic Party. I don't fucking like the Democratic Party. I'm probably more to the left of the Democratic Party than you are to the right of the Democratic Party. Good old boy.
I yielded to one of my elders, and I appreciate his comments. I think it's a great. I'm not gonna. We don't have time for everyone to stand.
Okay, so the guy was it was maybe hard to get from the context or whatever. The guy that was asking the question or making the statement was that, and he's right that a lot of people who served in the military end up working in the civil service when they get back, post office, any number of things. They just want to work for the government, or maybe it's not what they want, but it's the path of least resistance when they get out of the military is to go work for the government. And a lot of the people whose jobs are being cut are veterans.
Enough. I do got 2 more commitments today. Appreciate everybody making the drive out, and God bless America. Thank you.
Oh, do you hear that lady? She's like, "Excuse me, we're not done here."
We're gonna take pictures with you, buddy, right?
I'm gonna vote you out.
Fuck yeah, vote him out. Fuck yeah, vote that asshole out, dude. I think they said we're supposed to be here an hour. Did you hear that in the audience? I love that one lady. She's like, "We're not done." Like, it's kind of, oh man, I don't know. The problem is we're a couple years out from the midterms, and I don't know what's going to happen between now and the midterms. Like if the folks are going to keep this kind of energy up, or if something's going to happen, right? Where, who knows? Something might happen where people forget about this. Who knows? Anyway, this is Representative Keith Self. This is in Wiley, Texas. I like how his last name is Self. This is more people angry, and this is a very, very red part of Texas.
So the other one is a DOGE program.
Look at that. That's like a room of like old white people too, right? That's not a fucking Black Lives Matter crowd. That's not the DSA. That's not fucking Antifa. That's like the homeowners association is booing you.
This is very closely akin to this is very closely akin to what Bill Clinton did between 94.
This is what Bill Clinton did. Not a good way. Not a good way to to get people in the fucking, to get people in a Texas District 3 to fucking agree with you. Oh, well, I don't know. Clinton did this. Friend, these are not Democrats. These are not Democrats, friend. You're not, oh, well, Clinton did it. You like that, right? They're like, boo. They're booing Bill Clinton, too. You stupid fuck.
Bill Clinton only plans to cut 400,000 jobs.
Boo. Fucking, oh, dude. I don't know if this keeps happening. Some of these fucking representatives are going to end up bucking, right? Because they want their jobs. They want to keep their jobs unless they think that somehow like they're going to fucking call off the election or something. And 2026, I don't want to, I'm not putting out there that's going to happen. I don't want to be fucking bluing on over here. I'm just saying that unless they believe that somehow that's going to happen, if this keeps happening to these fucking people, some of them are going to buck. Some of them are, they're maybe not going to, not going to leave the fucking Republican Party to join the Democratic Party. Some of these people are going to abstain from voting on things where their vote is necessary. Some of them might just start voting against this shit just because they know it'll play well in it'll play well in the next election. They can be like, oh, I'm an independent, actually. I'm a registered Republican, but I'm very independent. And fucking they may even fucking pick up some Democratic votes if they do that shit. We got one more. This is let's see here. We got this is Rep Harshbarger, unfortunate name, being asked how much of Elon's money she took. These people fucking hate Elon Musk. This is a huge miscalculation. Most of the whole world isn't Twitter, right? And so I think that what happened is Trump picked up Elon Musk because he sees all these fucking weirdo incel fucking groiper fucking freaks on Twitter that love Elon Musk. But the people in this audience, they ain't on Twitter. People forget this. There's even at its height, Twitter had less monthly active users than Facebook has daily active users.
How much did you take out of Elon Musk fund?
Elon Musk doesn't get paid.
$8 million a day. $8 million a day.
I want you to listen, and I want to talk to you, but you got to be respectful.
But we want the truth.
I'm giving you the truth.
But you said Elon Musk doesn't.
I'm giving you. Oh no. Oh, I'm giving you the. Oh, look at her. She's fucking condescending to those people. Uh-oh. People in Tennessee don't be taking kindly to getting condescended to.
Any money from our government? He makes $8 million a day from government.
He has contracts. That's not my department, honey. If he has contracts,
it's government contracts. Who pays those government contracts?
Implemented in place before this year. When you listen to propaganda news and you don't go to the source.
Oh fuck yeah! These people. Oh fuck yeah! Now you got conservatives laughing at them when they say that the fucking you're the one brainwashed by the mainstream media. Well, they may have been telling me that shit on Facebook a little while ago, but boy howdy, just because I got brainwashed by the mainstream media, they think they're incapable of being brainwashed by the mainstream media, and that's because you've been telling them that. The fucking conservative media sphere has been telling these people that they're fucking crack researchers. So even if they were wrong about this, it wouldn't matter because they've been told for fucking probably 8 years now that they're that they don't need to listen to anybody and that they fucking, it's like vibes based and they can figure it out themselves. Well, that's not gonna work so well for you when those people get information from the mainstream media that turns out to be true and negatively affects their community, and now they're blaming you for it. You stupid motherfuckers.
Let me ask you something. How many of you belong to a Democratic agency that have paid you to come?
Oh no, best I can't really answer your questions about Elon and his money. Best I got for you is a paid shill accusation. That's the best I can do for you.
None of your business. None of my business. Where's your sign, okay?
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, you're all fucking, don't ever, like, friend, don't call your constituents fucking paid shills. This isn't like a fucking podcast, right? You're not on the fucking Joe Rogan podcast or fucking whatever. Like, these are not paid operatives. These are people in your community who are hopefully starting to realize, again, even if they're not like liberals, even if they're conservatives, which I assume they are, most of them, they realize that your ass is lying to them. I just fucking hope that fucking that extends to them realizing that your ass is lying to them about a lot of stuff, right? I hope it's not just this DOGE stuff. I hope some people, it's not going to be everybody, and it's certainly not going to be like the people who are pilled, the stop the steal kind of people. Those people are fucking never going to realize it. I'm just talking about like just conservatives who live in like the suburbs, the exurbs, and even like the rural areas who are just like conservatives because that's who they are. I hope they start to realize that they've been had. It's really hard to convince people that they've been had. Up next, did you know that the tariffs are going forward on schedule, and everybody's been very unfair to us in our trade negotiations?
We're on time with the tariffs, and it seems like that's moving along very rapidly. We've been mistreated very badly by many countries, not just Canada and Mexico. We've been taken advantage of. We were led by, in some cases, fools, because anybody that would sign documents like they signed, where they were able to take advantage of the American people, like...
Oh, this is fun. The last trade agreement signed between Canada, the United States, and fucking Mexico was actually signed by a fool. That's correct. I agree with you, Mr. Trump.
Has happened over the last long period of time, except for a little 4-year period that took place 4 years ago. But anybody that would agree to allow this to happen to our country should be ashamed of themselves. No, the tariffs are going forward on time, on schedule. This is an abuse that took place for many, many years. And I'm not even blaming the other countries that did this. I blame our leadership for allowing it to happen. I mean, who can blame them if they made these great deals with the United States, took advantage of the United States on manufacturing, on just about everything, every aspect that you could imagine.
Yep. If it was a bad friend, I thought you were the art of the deal guy. The last deal with Canada and Mexico, you're looking at the dude who signed it.
Advantage of. I look at some of these agreements, I'd read them at night, and I'd say, who would ever sign a thing like this? So
you did. At least the Canada and Mexico one, it was you, because you didn't like NAFTA. I'm sorry. They think that the people that they're trying to appeal to are stupid, and they're not all stupid. This stuff, this guy just looks like an idiot right now. I mean, not like I just disagree with his politics. It's just that like he's calling himself a fool.
Tariffs will go forward, yes, and we're going to make up a lot of territory. All we want is reciprocal. We want reciprocity. We want to have the same. So if somebody charges us, we charge them. It's very simple, but it'll be very good for our country. Our country will be...
Oh, great. Everybody should just impose a bunch of tariffs on everybody else so that nobody can afford anything. That sounds fantastic. Isn't that what they're like accusing like Soros and the fucking globalists of doing to everybody in like a lot of ways? But now they're the ones bringing it about, or attempting to bring it about.
Liquid and rich again. Plus we're doing other things, as you know. We're finding tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse at levels that nobody thought possible. You're seeing what's...
Waste, fraud, and abuse just means shit you don't like or shit you don't understand in budgets for federal agencies. I'm telling you, it's the stuff where, we're giving you money for this, that, or the other thing. Maybe not. I mean, it might all just be a ruse to like give fucking money to like some organization within a country that we're not really supposed to be giving money to. It's called soft power, and this guy seems not like he does not understand it. Don't worry, everybody. You know how there used to be a green card? Now there's going to be a gold card so that you can just you can jump the line, get into the country if you're rich, and probably if you're white.
Something else that's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think,
oh my God,
extremely successful. And never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Oh my God. They're talking about how, other countries are invading us by sending people. Well, nation states have a lot of money. If they want to send a bunch of shitty people over here to fucking disrupt our country even more than it's already been disrupted, this $5 million path to citizenship seems like a great way to do it. Whew. Man, people in other countries' intelligence apparatus are just like rock hard thinking about this right there. Here, they can send anybody. You don't even got to fucking send a spy anymore. It could be a spy, but now they don't even really have to be a spy, right? Somebody just send them in with $5 million. They can just do whatever the fuck they want. Sounds great. This could not possibly backfire or cause any problems going forward. Oh my God. All right. So we got, this is Representative Maxwell Frost. He was kicked out of an oversight hearing for calling Trump and Musk grifters. Fuck yeah.
People like the grifter in chief Trump and President Musk are openly using their public offices to enrich themselves to the tune of billions of dollars. So if we want to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, which I'm down to do, why is there complete silence on the other side of the aisle about looking at the complete grifter that is the President of the United States and the richest man on the earth, which is looking into things like Social Security and different things like that? Why don't we investigate the real corruption?
Hold off. Point of order.
I reclaim my time.
Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Hold off. There was a point of order when you said something. Who asked for it?
Well, it's a good thing Mr. Comer knows what's going on. There's a point of order when you said something.
Mr. Higgins, would you like to revise your remark with respect to improperly identifying the President of the United States?
I'll say President Musk and grifter in chief Trump.
All right.
Grifter in chief.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Wait a second.
If I wanted to challenge someone to a fight, they would know it. Thank you.
What?
If Mr. Musk actually came here, then maybe the rules
All right.
committee.
I heard no
disparagement
of that.
I'll say something else.
We'll save a lot of time.
I'll say something else.
Okay. All right. We're going to let Chair recognize Mr. Frost. You still have 349. You're going to maybe revise the disparaging comment about the president.
No.
That's supposed to be our decorum here. And
it is supposed to be. President Musk and the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is engaged in grifting of the American people, often use their public offices to enrich themselves. Someone on the other side was just asking, how would you feel if you called someone else from the other side?
Hold off, Mr. Frost. Hold off. There's a pending motion for disparaging the president.
Wait, what? You're not allowed to disparage the president during one of these meetings? How could that be the case?
I will say the president's grifting because you spent the last 2 years saying President
Take
Biden
down
was corrupt.
his words.
I can say that Trump is grifting. What I will withdraw is calling him grifter in chief. That is what I will.
Don't withdraw any of it. Fuck it. These people are getting all fucking angry because you said something. Aren't these the people that are like everybody else is always triggered? You can't say anything anymore in this country. Well, now fucking I guess you can't.
Change the point of order, and the words in question are ordered stricken from the transcript of this proceeding. So The member is barred from further participation.
Crockett.
Insulting people's appearance as well as trying to fight them isn't a problem.
Point of order. It's a yes or no.
But we're so sad
No.
Yes or no?
that our
Yes or no?
leaders.
Yeah, I think grifting, like you're not, I mean, it's a negative remark, but I'm not sure that there shouldn't be rules in there about not disparaging the fucking president, like in one of these committees anyway. Like if the president can go fuck himself and you're a duly elected representative, you should be able to say that. I don't understand.
Skip her.
So
Skip
sad.
her. Skip her. You're,
My
skip her. Go to the next one. Go to the next
The
one.
MSNBC anchor.
Go to the next one. Don't count that. Go to the next one.
Miss Randall votes no. Mr. Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam votes no.
I want to say it's despicable that this committee is going to silence me for bringing
The
up
gentleman's
Trump's-
words have been
Mr.
taken
Frost,
down.
no.
He is not
Mr.
permitted to
Frost.
speak for the rest of the hearing.
making millions of dollars.
Mr. Mr. Ranking Member, I'm going
Fuck
to
yeah.
remove him if
Fuck
he doesn't
yeah.
refrain.
Fuck yeah. I like this energy. I like it a lot more than like other people. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, we're gonna be able to reason with them. No, fucking call them grifters. Fucking there's a lot of like even like moderate conservative people, as we're seeing right now, that are like behind this idea that Elon Musk is a fucking grifter and that he's like using this office to like enrich himself, or using, it's not even office, right? Using this appointment to enrich himself. So any Democrat that has any chance to talk about this should be banging on this drum constantly, but they're not going to. It's going to be a few people, and not for nothing, right? We're looking at younger people, we're going to be looking at women, and we're going to be looking at people of color that are going to be the ones doing this. The old fucking stodgy white people in the Democratic Party ain't going to say shit, except maybe Amy Klobuchar, but she's also younger relative to the rest of the people in this space. Up next, we have the Canadian national soccer team coach, actually an American national, if I'm not mistaken, talking about Donald Trump and trying to annex Canada, essentially.
Tournaments for Canada mean something different now. And, you know, I'd as an American, I'd like to address the 51st state discourse, which I find unsettling and frankly insulting. Canada is a strong, independent nation that's deep-rooted in decency, really. And it's a place that values high ethics and respect, unlike the polarized, disrespectful, and often now hate-fueled climate that's in the U.S. And look, Canada values a lot of fairness and unity. It's a place that I've learned as the national team coach where people really believe that their differences make them stronger. And honestly, it's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about our team is that they exemplify this as human beings and as a team. And look, they're almost all first and second generation Canadians coming from different heritage and cultures, but they uniquely are incredibly proud to be Canadian, to represent their country, to give everything to each other and the love that they have for each other and playing for their country. And to me, this sounds very familiar to years past, right? So for me right now, I couldn't be prouder to be the Canadian national team coach. And I found a place where that embodies for me the ideals and morals of what not just football and a team is, but what life is. And that's integrity, respect, and the belief that good people can do great things together. And so if I have one message to our president, it's lay off the ridiculous rhetoric about Canada being the 51st state. As an American, I'm ashamed, right, of the arrogance and disregard that we've shown one of our historically oldest, strongest, and most loyal allies. But one thing's for sure, okay, when I look forward to a month from now, is I know that this will fuel our team, the mentality we have, the will we have to play for our country, the desire we have to go after this tournament in every way and to show on and off the pitch exactly what Canadian character is. So obviously I really look forward to the challenge of playing Mexico, but the tournament as a whole, and I guarantee that our team will be ready.
I can't wait to see the fucking. I mean, I'm not like a big soccer fan, but I might check that match out just to see if like the Canadian and the Mexican team, like if they're like fucking like extra cool to each other. Like everybody's trying to win and stuff, but if they're like the sportsmanship, as they call it, is you know, at a higher level than it might otherwise be because of everything that's going on. Y'all remember when fucking LA was on fire? Canada and Mexico, as is always the case, if there's a natural disaster in the United States and they can help, Canada and Mexico are Johnny on the spot to help the American people when there's a fucking disaster. People with all those old jokes about don't drink the water and shit. When Texas flooded, remember when Texas flooded? You know who brought in water? Immediately? Fucking Mexico. They just don't even ask. They don't ask. They don't care. They just bring water. And they just bring help. When the hills in Southern California were on fire, Canada sent firefighting resources. No questions asked. No strings. No request for payment. And I don't think that those nations will quit doing that, or at least I hope not, because they help save people's lives. And but this is not good. This isn't good. This isn't a good way to treat nations that have always been perfectly willing to help the United States. And I don't think they're not helping the government, right? They were literally there because in the fire specifically because people's shit was burning down and people were dying. So I just mentioned Texas a moment ago. There is a measles outbreak in Texas, and but don't worry, RFK Jr.'s on the case.
There's a measles outbreak in Texas at the moment in which a child is reported to have died. Do you have concerns about that, and have you asked Secretary Kennedy to look into that?
Well, why don't we, Bobby, do you want to speak on that?
Well, we are following the measles epidemic every day. I think there's 124 people who have contracted measles at this point in Gaines County, Texas. Mainly, we're told in the Mennonite community. There are 2 people who have died, but we're watching it, and there are about 20 people hospitalized, mainly for quarantine. We're watching it. We put out a post on it yesterday, and we're going to continue to follow it.
This is fucked up. We had all but eradicated measles. Like, we had all but eradicated measles in this country. I think the rest of the world, too. And here comes the fucking anti-vaxxers. In the last 5 years, I would say, led by RFK Jr. Prior to that, it was other ghouls, including Andrew Wakefield, Oprah, Jenny McCarthy. Good job, everybody. Great job. Fucking excellent. I was reading this story, and I don't know. I hope I get the details right. There's a woman who found out that her 2-year-old, or it was 2-month-old, I think, who could not be fucking vaccinated because because it was her daughter, I think, who was 2 months old, has fucking measles. Because some other motherfucker decided that they knew better and weren't going to get their kids vaccinated. This is fucked up too, because a child that young has no ability to even have any input on the situation. Can't know, can't understand. They're like a year old. So the parents are making choices for these very young children that could potentially end their lives. And it's not like if you get measles, it just goes away like a cold every time. There are some fucking like long-term effects of having had measles. That's why it was such an important thing to have a vaccine for. Here's another one. Here's RFK Jr. in the Oval Office with Trump, and this one's fun because RFK Jr. is just fucking standing there while Trump starts to huck some fucking merchandise. I'm not fucking kidding. This is amazing.
Look, yes. See that? Trump was right about everything. Just came in. Somebody said that. I said, this was sent in.
I'm sorry. Friends, it should be illegal to like huck merchandise from the Oval Office, right? I mean, like, I don't care what it is. Fucking subscription to Sports Illustrated, a coupon code for fucking blueberries at Safeway, right? This should be fucking illegal, right? This is absolute. The other guy was calling, remember the guy that got fucking silenced just a few minutes ago for calling Trump a grifter? If this isn't grifting, I don't know what is.
And I said, I think we should make some of them, right? But we were pretty much. You want one? I'll pass. Are you allowed to take one? Because
No, that hopefully some of the people in there operate under some kind of rules and ethics revolving around their job, you stupid motherfucker. Yeah, they're not going to take it. I think even the conservatives aren't going to take it. Like even the people, the Trump-friendly people probably aren't going to take the fucking hat from him. At least not while they're at work reporting on what's going on in the Oval Office. And look at like what, I mean, fuck it. I hope Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is hating every moment of this.
consider it. I know him well. He's sort of a stiff. Yeah, Brian, you're not a stiff. He's sort of a stiff guy. You know? He'll take other things, but not a free hand.
Always say yes to the president. Always say yes to the president.
Would anybody?
No, don't always say yes to the president.
Easy question.
No. What the fuck, dude? Oh, God, what a horrible news week. I mean, usually this Sunday show is a little bit infuriating, but I'm going to be fucking pretty mad by the time we fucking get to the break here, everybody. Oh, next one's fun too. Don't worry. It just gets worse. Here you go. In Alabama, a school board fired a cafeteria worker who raised money to help some of the kids buy school lunch.
Shelby County Schools cafeteria worker has officially lost her job after receiving money that she says was benefiting students. The Shelby County School Board hosted a hearing on Monday night to discuss Yvette Dunn's future. According to the superintendent, Dunn violated protocol by not informing the school about accepting donations intended for students who couldn't afford lunch, using the funds to help them pay. Dunn says that her own children attended Shelby Elementary, but her pleas falling on deaf ears, losing her job at the school.
I made a mistake, and I think I should, be able to go back to my job. In my opinion, I think I should have just got suspended for 2 weeks. But I've been.
Wait, no. What?
But I don't think I should get terminated just for not telling confidentiality.
Dunn says that she did not misuse any of those funds and that they were all in support of the school's PTO.
Yeah, if she kept some of the money, then okay. But sometimes if people break the rules, like you got to give them a mulligan if they're like trying to do things like fucking feed the fucking kids because she's got to be there like every day, and sometimes kids come in line and they don't have any money and she's not allowed to just give them lunch, right? Like she can't do that. She's got to see this every day. She's like the one who sees this. Like the teachers might know, but she sees it because she's the one dishing out the food or in charge of dishing out the food. I don't know if she was in charge or if she was one of the employees of whoever's in charge. If she didn't keep any of the money herself and used it to fucking help the kids, maybe the fucking school, maybe the school board or whatever should have said, hey, this isn't the proper way to do it, but let's get something together here. Maybe we can get some community support for some of these kids. But the problem here is this might be one of those school boards that got taken over by these fucking assholes with casseroles, Moms for Liberty ass people who like think that the fucking kids who are poor, it's because their parents have bad moral character. And since your parents have bad moral character, guess what, kid? You get to fucking spend your entire day hungry. Up next, everybody, remember when they said they were like, we're just mad at the trans. We're mad at the trans people. They were like, we watched the thing on the IDT with fucking that Caliper Claire lady, where she was like, the regular gays don't like all this, and we can draw the line here and make sure that we're just only going after the trans people or whatever the fuck she was talking about. Well, guess what, fellow normal gays? I don't even know. I'm fucking weird too. But fellow, I guess like somewhat heteronormative presenting gays, or just cis gays, I suppose. LGB, as they would say. Guess what, LGB? They're coming for you now. And I mean us, I suppose, but you were on that LGB. You're not us. You're you, and I'm me, because they're trans people are part of our community and always have been. Anyway, guess what? They're coming for us.
To my fellow conservatives, if we cannot conserve the bedrock of our civilization, the family, then we can't call ourselves conservatives anymore. Now is the time to do the right thing. Now is the time to reassert the sovereignty of Christ as our King. Now is the time to restore the authority of God and submit our will to He who knows what's best. We must restore the order of the family. The family is the smallest, most intimate governing body in our great nation. May our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ bless you and keep you. May He make His face shine upon you. May He be gracious to you. May He turn His face towards you and give you peace. Amen.
We all told you. People were like, oh, you're overreacting. They just want to abuse the transes. And I'm like, well, first of all, don't abuse the trans people. Like, try to help people if they're in need. And if they aren't in need, fucking leave them alone. They're like, they were told us this, remember this the whole time. They're like, oh, if you elect these people, they're going to come after gay marriage. And they're like, no, we just don't like the trans people. See, like, and then they'd like parade out Dave fucking Rubin or whichever, fucking Peter Thiel or whatever fucking ghoul they could fucking parade out. Luckily, this is such an unpopular thing that I think they're just going to talk about it and like use it as like they're going to try to bang the drum on it, because it's even among their base, it would be unpopular. So they're not going to do it. But that doesn't mean that it's not terrifying to hear them talk about it. And I could be wrong. I also got a little bit of, sometimes we know our own, and my gaydar went off a little bit. It seems like maybe he was let's say the man might have had a bit of a spring in his step. Somebody who definitely does not have a spring in his step is Bumblejack. This is Jack Posobiec. I don't know what event this was at. I didn't look into it, and I was not going to, we're not adding it to the docket for the rest of the night. It's sponsored by Patriot Mobile, which is just some fucking cell phone grift where they're just reselling you Verizon at a higher price than just regular Verizon prepaid service. But here is a Bumblejack. We're just gonna call this what it is. This is like he's giving like a fascist speech right here.
That is what carried this country forward in 1776, in the first American Revolution, and the second American Revolution, which I will tell you is not finished. It is only just begun, and we will only be successful if we maintain our full faith and providence in our Almighty God. That is the only way through. That is the only way that we will be.
You sound really angry. This is just like Jesus would have been. I mean, I don't believe in Jesus, but I liked his book, at least some parts of it.
Successful. And success is not measured by Donald Trump winning elections. Success is not measured by us getting into office. So, of course, Bo, winning elections, getting out of office is important. We're going to do all that. But this is the challenge I'll throw out.
What you need to do is shoot your neighbor if they don't share your politics.
Because I understand that in so many of these red states, Oklahoma has this issue, the Dakotas have this issue, and yes, unfortunately, even Texas has the issue. And this is breaking news even to me. There is a new invasive species that has just been.
Oh, you're calling human being. He's calling this guy. I think we're gearing up for him calling basically like moderate Republicans an invasive species. It's fucking dehumanizing fascist language.
Categorized and classified here in Texas by the Trump administration. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that invasive species is the Texas rhino. And the Texas
rhino. He means moderate Republicans who are fucking nice to their Democratic neighbors.
It's just been declared open season on the Texas rhino.
Yeah, this is not like what we would hope would happen in a two-party system, is that you'd have like if you have to have a two-party system, you'd hope that both of the parties have fairly big tents that even sometimes overlap a little bit in the middle, to the extent that there is a middle, or that we believe in like the linear left-right way of thinking about this. This is not that. Right? This is just straight up fascism. You're calling people in your own political party who voted for Donald Trump, voted for Republicans, you're calling them an invasive species. Not because they don't vote the way you want to, or not because they don't even hold most of the values that you hold or whatever. It's because they don't hold 100% of the values that you do in such a fervent and vehement way as you do. So they're just not good enough for you. Well, fucking, you know what? I hope you keep talking like this, actually. And to the extent that the Democrats are an organized political force, I hope that the Democrats are able to take advantage of this in a place like Texas.
Because they're an invasive species and they shouldn't be here. There's too many people that shouldn't be here. And we are.
Well, what do you mean? These are like, where should they go?
We're going to work together with the open season. We're going to work with Bo. We're going to work with everyone here because the Texas rhino has got to go. I'm sorry, the Texas rhino has got to go. No more of this nonsense where people just walk up and say, oh, I'm a Republican. Look at me. I've got my cowboy hat. I've got my 6-shooter. And then they go up to Austin and they vote with the Democrats. They vote with corporate America. They push liberal values. I'm sick of it. We're sick of it. And it's all going to stop because we're going on a rhino hunt, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, I mean, if you're talking about the guys in the cowboy hats with the 6-shooters, those guys know how to shoot. So maybe you might want to keep them just in case things get real bad. I mean, I'd agree with all their values and shit, but if the shit goes full potato, I don't know. Fucking wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have some good old boys, some good old boys, helping out people in the cities and whatnot. Up next, this guy's protests are very funny, although this shouldn't be necessary, but this one is especially good. This person's name is Robbie Roadsteam. Very funny person. Check this out. Oh. Watch this.
Hell yeah! It's fun to fly on the Jeffrey Epstein plane! It's fun to fly on the
Jeffrey Epstein plane?
Yeah, that's what Trump did! He was chasing around little girls on the Jeffrey Epstein plane! Don't kick me, that's harassment! No political violence, ladies! We can chase around young girls! We can put ketchup on our ear!
Take America back!
Take McDonald's back! Cause the insurrection at McDonald's! Where's everybody going? Let's do the insurrection, brother, inside me. Fly on the Leader Express! Don't let the Trump flag touch the ground!
That's fucking what we call good trouble. He told that lady, don't kick me, that's harassment. That, I mean, is technically, that's assault. You can't fucking kick somebody just because they're fucking, you know, I mean, whatever. People do all kind of dumb shit. So speaking of Jeff Epstein, all these the grifters like Laura Loomer and fucking, I think Benny Johnson, I forget which grifters got the government, the Trump administration, released some of what they're calling the Epstein files. Yo, check out what they got. I don't know if anybody saw this. Watch this.
Again, for those just joining, I'm at the airport. This is literally my first live stream. Please bear with me. I've been in transit. I've had an extremely busy day meeting with all the people we love in Trump's cabinet.
So strangely enough, too, they didn't redact enough stuff because Donald Trump's name is on there, Ivana Trump's name's on there, Ivanka Trump's name is in there. It doesn't say like what's under it, but they should have done a better job of redacting. And I think Pam Bondi is about to be in trouble because Donald Trump and the former First Lady Ivana Trump and the current First Lady Ivanka Trump, their names are not redacted in portions of this document.
But I, like you, want to know as much about this information as possible. Sorry.
Well, there's not much to learn about this information from what I can see here. It doesn't even matter that I can't read the words that aren't redacted, if we're being honest.
If I skip any pages, my fingers are a little dry.
I wouldn't want to skip any pages and miss any important information. DC Drano, you stupid fuck.
I'm trying to get all this out before my flight takes off. God bless Trump. God bless America.
Wait, but he just handed you a thing. He's like, here's all the information you asked for. And then you open it, there's no information in it. And you're like, God bless Donald Trump.
God bless his administration, Attorney General Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and others for having the courage to release this information. Again.
What information? What are you talking about? Chat said there's less information in there than that was previously released. And I guarantee that's true.
I don't know what of this is new, but I know that there's a lot more evidence that is being secretly held in the Southern District of New York in either the FBI, DOJ, or some combination in their offices. And Pam Bondi has sent a letter demanding that it be sent to her.
Yeah, that's so that she could send it to you, so she could redact it and give it to you, and then you could fucking kiss the ring like a stupid fucking toady.
Tomorrow by 8 a.m. At that point, I imagine they will review the information.
They will review the information and then be like, these people are fucking dorks. These people are idiots with no backbone. Just redact the whole thing and give it to them and let them pretend that they're doing some kind of fucking, let them pretend they're doing the fucking Pentagon Papers. Man. All right. So we're getting on to where things are getting, I don't know if they're more fun, but things are getting a little crazier on my story list for the week, as is the way that it goes. Later into the show we go, the more crazy this gets. Well, a Portland vandal spray painted the word Nazi on a Tesla. And here's a local news hit about it.
The video shows the vandal covering his face, writing something on the hood of a car.
That happened in broad daylight. I mean, he was brazen.
And Tim Tees says the culprit targeted his Tesla, parked in his Northwest Portland driveway.
He's like, I live in a smart part of town. What the fuck?
Neighborhood street.
During Super Bowl Sunday, while I was up watching the game, my son and I were watching the football game. I showed you the video. They spray painted my car.
When Tees went to investigate, he discovered the word Nazi written in red. And he thinks there's a connection to Tesla CEO.
He thinks, fucking nice sleuthing.
Elon Musk, who's now serving President Trump.
I get that people are upset about Elon. I'm upset about Elon, I bought the car before, Elon went crazy, hence the bumper sticker.
A sticker that'll have to wait, since after cleaning, his Tesla is now.
I don't think that this shitlib understands that the fucking I don't know, they'd probably call that guy Antifa, and we'll just use that framing. Sure. I don't think this guy I don't think he understands that they don't give a fuck if you put this sticker on your fucking swastika car.
Now in storage.
I'm thinking about selling the Tesla, although I really like the car.
This vandalism, reported to Portland police, follows other incidents.
You might be able to sell it for a markup to a fucking Nazi, actually. Now that it says Nazi on the hood, somebody might be like, you know what, I'll give you $5,000 over your asking price.
Including a suspected arson at a Salem Tesla dealership last month. And in Colorado, a dealership was hit multiple times. Police there said some of the graffiti was offensive and hateful. While back in Portland, Tees has this message for the person responsible.
What I would say to him is like, hey, look, dude, if you want to protest, I'll go and protest with you. The $255.
But you just better do it in someone else's fucking neighborhood so that I don't have to deal with it. Right? These people are like, oh, go protest downtown. I live in a smart part of town. Excuse you.
I spent to clean my car, I could have used to donate to the DNC or...
Were you going to do that? And like the DNC is going to fucking help us. Get the fuck out of here. Give that money to a local library or something.
To a number of other organizations that could have done something a little bit more constructive.
Now, while he is considering selling the Tesla, Tease also tells me that he is getting more cameras around his home following this vandalism and a couple break-ins within the last 3 months.
Wait, he's had his house broken into within the, or does he mean like break-ins in the neighborhood? He's like, excuse me, like where I live in kind of, I don't want to dox myself. And anyway, I live in Oakland. I live sort of up in the foothills, right? So that'd be like somebody in my neighborhood being like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean a protest in my neighborhood? Excuse me, I live in the Laurel. Get the fuck out of here. This is funny. Here's a bunch of fucking MRAs in India fucking worshiping a picture of fucking Elon Musk. Check this out, dude. America exports all of its stupidity to every other country. And we used to export things like Levi's jeans, but now just fucking stupidity. Men have a right to peaceful existence. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Oh, man. People are fucking Narendra Modi supporters. They invite Tulsi Gabbard. Yo, how fucking sad, dude. Oh, this one's not great. Speaking of the manosphere, I don't know if people know this. The Tates Donald Trump intervened, and now the Tates are in the United States, so they can fucking abuse women here, I suppose.
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
This is the attorney for President Trump, somebody who has been a fighter for the America First Party. Her name is Alina Habba, and
Alina Habba, I remember her.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you.
Formal charges against Andrew Tate include rape, human trafficking of minors, sexual intercourse with a minor.
Yeah, they're all against like trafficking and shit until it's like one of their fucking podcast bros that gets accused of it, right? Like if any of us here got accused of any of that stuff by the law enforcement, these people would just assume that we did it and then like act like, well, of course you did it because you're a fucking liberal. But now we got this guy who like openly bragged about some of this stuff. Like now it's okay though, because he's like fucking, I don't know, ruining our young men and turning them into like cringe fucking incels. So this one's a little bit weird. This is Joe Rogan. We don't run a lot of clips of Joe Rogan, but all of a sudden he's for some reason skeptical of these so-called UFO whistleblowers. Like that's interesting. I mean, I have some thoughts on this, but we'll let the clip roll.
I'm glad you brought the UAP thing up. I hate to interrupt you, but because I think a lot of what we're hearing is nonsense.
Yeah, I mean,
I think a lot of what is being shared, especially publicly, like there's too many voices that I think are either intelligence assets or are disinformation experts that are doing it on purpose, and that there's too much of, the same feeling that I get like when I said I met my friend's ex-girlfriend, I was like, oh, get out now.
Yeah.
I have that feeling about the UAP thing. When I hear people talking, nothing seems real to me.
Yeah.
When I talk to people about it, there's not one, even when people tell me their own personal experiences, I believe them. It does not register as real.
That's so interesting.
Something registers as being nonsense. There's something, maybe not nonsense, but maybe way weirder than.
But this is weird because he had I think he said Stephen Greer. He had, what's that other fucking guy's name? I forget that guy's name that claims to have worked at what he called S4. He had those people on and never had any of those questions for those people when they were on.
They're explaining it like non-physical interaction that they are reinterpreting as like physical interaction.
Yeah.
That there's some disconnect between their work. Like if someone tells me an experience that they had, like, here's a good example. My friend Steve told me a harrowing experience of them being attacked by a brown bear in Alaska. Oof. And when he tells you this story, first of all, I know it's real because I know multiple people who were there. They were all there. No one got hurt. It was very fortunate, but they got charged by a grizzly who ran through their tent. One of my friends was on its back.
Oh my gosh.
For like 10 yards.
Oh,
like it literally
wow.
plowed through the people, and he wound up like riding its back for like 10 yards before he fell off.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just like, it can cover 10 yards in a second,
yeah.
right? And the whole thing was just insane chaos. And the way he describes how your reptilian brain completely takes over. The fear is so overwhelming and different than anything you've ever experienced before. I know it happened.
Yeah.
When he's telling me this, I know it happened.
Yeah.
When these people are telling me about talking to aliens and all
this is weird too, because I don't think any of the people have said that they actually spoke to an alien. If we're talking about Grush, Bob Lazar, Stephen Greer, the people that he's had on his show, or the people who have testified in front of Congress, I don't think they've ever said that they talked to an alien, which is a little bit weird. Whatever. Joe Rogan's not great at knowing what he's talking about, but
nothing out of them. I'm not getting nothing. I'm getting a flat piece of paper.
Yeah, there's no fear. There's no
I don't
charge.
know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just don't get anything from their story.
So
I hear it. It's interesting, but I don't get anything.
Wait, how is it interesting if you think it's bullshit? I guess bullshit is interesting. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be here.
Bulbs go off with me.
Huh.
I just sit there and go, wow. Okay, so what were you thinking? And I'm asking them questions, but I'm not getting nothing.
Yeah. That's
and
interesting.
so that leaves me, because I know that for sure the government has technology that they do not want the general public to be aware of.
Well, sure, but that's for sure. Yeah, things are classified. That doesn't mean that there's fucking aliens that they're talking to. This is what this kind of thinking, this thing that he's doing is why people like him keep getting caught out and taken advantage of and end up platforming grifters and stuff, is because they're like, well, the government's keeping X, Y, and Z secrets that we know about from the past. So anybody coming here telling me that the government's keeping like the aliens or fucking chemtrails, or this guy doesn't actually believe in chemtrails. We'll take the small victory there where we can get it. But if somebody comes in and says that there's this government malfeasance, that they're covering up some shit about COVID or whatever it is, because the government has kept things from the public before, now anything that anybody tells you that the government is keeping from the public is plausible, if not likely. And that is such a broken way to think.
For reasons of national security or whatever it is. Or, money has been pushed through to finance things and they lied to Congress and they have to keep lying. Whatever the reason is, that's real. There's most certainly black ops programs that the general public is not aware of.
Some of the money was probably funneled through USAID for fucking things that seem silly, actually. That's how soft power works.
If you have those, what better way to hide them than in plain sight and with a bunch of people that are air quote whistleblowers that go out and tell everybody about.
So here now, now he's like, I don't believe them, but that's because now they're fucking disinformation operatives. They're fucking COINTEL Pro. All right, dude.
Experiences, they're not of this earth, and that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I was the government and I wanted to be super sneaky, I would have a bunch of my like really clever agents go and whistleblow. Tell some stories. Talk about people that have been abducted. Talk about all these different things.
Yeah. But they haven't talked about people that have been abducted. I guess some of them have, but not the people that spoke in front of Congress.
And then on top of that, there's real experiences. So I think there is something, because it exists throughout history, just like telepathy exists throughout history and ghosts exist throughout history. And
I mean, stories about telepathy and people who think they've seen a ghost have existed throughout history, but that's like, all right, it's a fucking Santa Claus as well.
Religion exists. There's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there that's distorted by our very slippery grasp on truth.
Yes.
You know what? That last thing he said, man, I hope that fucking, and this is, I think he's just like, this stuff is probably embarrassing because some of it's so fucking stupid. But I think I would hope that this guy fucking continues to hold that train of thought, to keep that thought in his head, at least in the back of his mind going forward, because he's a very influential person. And it would be pretty good if even if just for the sake of being a contrarian, because I know that he's like sort of reflexively a contrarian, now that the fucking conspiracy theorists are fucking in charge of everything, which is a crazy thing to say, even if just because he wants to be a contrarian starts disagreeing with the cookers because they have power now, we're not hoping for a lot here, right? The world is not fucking going so great. Up next, last story before we go into the post game, everybody. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and welcome newbies on YouTube who found us through some other whack shit that we've been covering. It's good to see the YouTube chat a little more lively than usual here, and by a little more lively than usual, I mean anything in the YouTube chat. This is just cringe. This is also from the Joe Rogan show. Here's Apartheid Clyde showing off some AI that I guess knows bad words.
Lever? No, she's just a pain in my ass.
Yes.
Are you a fucking conspiracy theorist?
Yes.
What are you doing?
You can tell when someone's fake laughing. He's fake laughing, and he's fake laughing.
What am I like? I'm a fucking AI with a penchant for chaos. And I'm stuck talking to you, weirdo. Now, what's next?
Maybe the AI does know who it's talking to.
I'm the life of the party, you little shit. If I were on TikTok...
Maybe the AI has become sentient and knows exactly who it's talking to. My God, what a horrible week in fucking news. Like, it hasn't been great lately, but this docket was, I'm getting a little bit older and I can kind of feel my blood pressure from the fucking docket this week. Real quick, thanks to everybody in the Discord, obviously, who helped put the docket together. I know Youth Decay oftentimes puts stuff in there. I know X1011 puts stuff in there. And big shout out to Allie Drew, who is essentially the co-producer of the Sunday show at this point, because Allie Drew puts a lot of stuff in the Plex docket channel in the Discord every week. And I do appreciate that, because as you know, we're here 6 nights a week and I don't have time to just follow the fucking news all week, but I get help from all of you and I do appreciate that. People listening on the podcast, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, head on over to discord.me/echoplex, join the Discord, hang out. It's very well moderated. It's not like other political discords where people are just yelling at each other and calling each other names and shit. People get kicked out for that. And when you get there, you might be a little surprised that there's not just constantly people talking in the peanut gallery, but you know, maybe not everybody here always has something to say, and that's good. Because if you always got something to say, you're eventually going to say something stupid. I talk for a living. Believe me, I know. So we're going to go ahead and move on into Red Light. If you're watching live, just stick around, hang tight. It's not the worst thing in the world to have to listen to this fucking amazing song by my friend Matt's band. This song is called Boomers. And in Red Light this week, we have, I called this Humans Are Fucking Doomed. We have somebody wanting to repeal the Civil Rights Act. I just have something on here that says, damn lady, what the fuck? There's I challenge you to give me money. And we're going to check in on Christopher Key, who drinks his own fucking urine. And then our friend of the show, Sam Cedar, went on the Piers Morgan show and argued with a bunch of chuds, and it was glorious. So I'm going to change the color of the lights in this room, and I'm going to change the contents of my beverage, and we'll be back with Red Light. See everybody in a few minutes.